Hey y'all, I am going to be working on creating something with these playing cards for my journal project using the Volcanic Strength kit from Mindful Image. And I'm not sure what I'm gonna do yet, but I'm gonna do something. I do have the ephemera from the kit, a couple of the ladies for some inspiration. I have some of the background pages that I printed to work with if I need them. And then I also found these little faux flowers with just a little bit of an orange tone. I would need to change these just a little bit to go along with the kit, but I may use these on the cards. I may use them somewhere else in the journal, but I'm pretty sure that some of these are going to get incorporated into this journal. But for sure, when I found this set of playing cards, I was like, yeah, those are mine. Those are going to go into this journal. So I chose some. I think for sure I want to make a little booklet. Oh, I also have a bunch of scraps of hibiscus dyed paper here. And I get different tones when I use hibiscus dye. I use dried hibiscus flowers to dye this paper, and I get all kinds of different tones. Excuse me. So I think that for sure these two sets are going to be made into little booklets. And then these, I may not use this one. I don't think I'm going to use that one. I know I want to use at least 2 more as something else. I may end up making a couple of paper clips. But I kind of want pockets or floating pockets or something. I'm going to use these 2 queens. Oh, and I also have a piece of paper that I dyed orange a long time ago, and then I stamped on it with a script stamp with some StazOn ink. And then I felt like there wasn't enough red in it to go along with the darker orange tones in the background sheets. So I took my archival ink by Ranger in Tea Rose and kind of went over the paper and went along the edges, and I'll be using a little bit of this. I'll be using StazOn ink in Jet Black, and I'll be using Destruct Oxide in Black Soot throughout the journal. So let's see. I'm gonna want some black string, I'm pretty sure. And I think for these, I'm gonna end up punching holes in the side of them to make the little booklets. And I know I'll probably be doing some stitching. Changed my mind here, and I'm gonna use this one. because I can do that. I can change my mind. So for these, I want to put something on the front. So I want the smaller ones. Let me cut these out. And then I'm going to speed up this video. I've been dealing with some creative block, and this journal, I was so excited to get these digitals so that I could use them. And this journal has just, I don't know why, it's just been a struggle for me. It happens sometimes. I have had other designers that I've gotten their papers and been super stoked to get going with them, and then just nothing would happen. Nothing was making me happy. So I'm finally getting back into, being able to come up with some ideas for this journal again. So I'm just going to put together a little collage on the front of this card. I cut that rose out of the background paper, and I'm using one of the words from the kit that I cut down. And then I decided it needed to be framed with another color because it was getting lost in the background of all the oranges and reds. So I'm going to use that hibiscus dyed paper. And I'm really just fiddling with collaging these cards. I'm using some black soot to ink around the edges of everything, get rid of the white space. And this is a piece of black cardstock. And I'm just going to play around with it for a little bit until I find a happy place to put it. I decided that one edge was too straight, so I took my scissors and roughed up the edge. I like that better. I'm happy with this look, so I'm going to glue everything down. Now, I did not prep these cards with gesso. I didn't sand them or anything because I'm going to be stitching, doing some stitching on these cards. But if I just used nothing but Eileen's tacky glue, because these are glossy cards, my collage piece would just literally peel off. So I am going to be stitching this down. As you can see, I thought about adding some more to that card and then decided against it. And we'll just go with what I originally liked. And then I didn't like the little flower I added on. I did want to get rid of the white edges, so I did some inking around the card to get rid of those white edges. More inking. Okay, and then I decided to go ahead and do the same type of collage on the other card so I can make 2 different notebooks. And I'm going to speed this video up again. So it took me, with all of the indecision and fiddling around with things, it took me about an hour to produce these 2 collaged cards. And here are the results, and I will turn them into notebooks on a different video. Thanks for watching, y'all.